All right, hello again. In this video, we're just going to look very briefly at one or two examples of what a professional website might look like. So, for example, this was one that I saw somebody's Twitter and I opened it for their website because it was linked and it was like, okay, so that looks pretty cool. So that's one way that people might end up coming to your website if you link it to social media. And in this case, Liz Faber is as it says here, a professor of English and communication at Dean College, adjunct instructor and at University of Maryland, Baltimore, and an editor for Popular Culture Studies Journal. So this is a website where the audience is primarily going to be other academics, probably within those same fields of English and communications. And people might come to this to learn more about her writing or to find out kind of what her research is like, to learn more about her teaching styles or interests. It could be prospective students. It could be people who are interested in having her come to give a talk or lecture at their program at the university. And what we might notice first about this first page is there's very high contrast here. So it's a black background with lighter text. We have a very short little bio here. You might think of this like the elevator pitch of like, here's the immediate things you need to know. We have a link to buy her book and then a link to download her CV. So those two things are really foregrounded as important things here. And also there is an image here. This is the book's cover that's highlighted as very important. And the colors kind of coordinate a little bit. They're like sort of very bright colors. And we can see from this, and based on the title, The Computer's Voice, this kind of looks like an illustration of technology. We kind of get a sense of maybe what this person's research is going to be all about. And then it's got all these other tabs and pages here. And also up here, social media links. So to Twitter and to Instagram. It has a contact page, which has another computer technology themed image here. And also if we're talking about creating personal brand, Let's Connect, I'd love to hear from you, has a very different sound to it than something like you can reach me at X address. So in terms of creating a personal brand, this is a little bit warmer and more welcoming, and it's really emphasizing this interest in technology. There's also the very prominent image description here, which is emphasizing accessibility and different ways for people to interact with this site. And then there are all these other items. And for an example, let's just look at the teaching portfolio. So here, the image that's chosen, and this kind of looks like a stock photo image. Here's some people, some computers, and this looks like two people working together. So if we're thinking about what message is this image supposed to convey to us, it seems to be about collaboration, and I can't tell what they're doing in this picture, but it looks like something sort of computer related or something like that. So it's still about that same main interest, but it's showing another side of that now. So about this kind of collaboration, which works well with the idea that this is a teaching portfolio. And within this, there are links to different elements of this teaching portfolio. So it's not all on one long page, it's kind of broken into sections. And there's like a little table of contents here listed on this page. So if we click on the philosophy, we can see this picture, and this is a circle. It's shaped differently than the other ones we've seen. And we have Black Lives Matter foregrounded as something that we can tell is really important to this professor. That goes along with creating personal brand there. And the teaching statement here goes on for a couple paragraphs. It's centered with the high contrast text. It has a citation here at the end. And if again, we're thinking about personal brand, the first line, the question students ask me most frequently is, why do I have to do this? We can see that this is someone who is foregrounding kind of that interaction with students, that thing that maybe a lot of professors run into, and is making themselves relatable and friendly and approachable. But based on the fact that this is teaching portfolio, there's the syllabi, there's research, there's media appearances, there's contact, there doesn't seem to be like a more personal bio or about page. So while this is a very friendly sort of tone that it's creating, it does keep that little bit of distance between the professor who's creating the site and the reader, the audience. So another example, what a site might look like here, and this is one of my professors from when I was in college. And the first thing that you notice is that there is this window that pops up, this new publication alert. Welcome, exclamation point there. Check out Monica's latest publication, exclamation point. Read her latest essay with the rumpus, another exclamation point. So we have a lot of high energy, a lot of welcome. We're on a first name basis already. We have this picture of it's a fairly casual picture. It's not like a super professional in a studio headshot, but we have the professor who looks really happy to see us. And it's also directing us right away to the newest publication. So this website might be geared towards people who are interested in reading more of her work, or locating more of her work, things like that. And it is setting a very friendly, kind of personable tone here. So when you get out of this and we get to another picture here, and this is kind of like a very personality heavy picture, right? We see her posing a little bit. We see her smiling for the camera there. This is creating a very clear sense of who she is. So writer, teacher, queen of excellence. So there's a little bit of humor. And again, it's creating a very different tone. When we scroll down, this is also broken into different sections as we saw on the other website, but they're kind of different sections here. So if you want to learn more about her as a writer, we might click here to learn more. As a teacher, might click here. And as Queen of Excellence, I'm curious as a reader about what that is. So if I click there, we will see that this is linking to her book and the press. Tells you a little bit about that and sends you to a place to order the book. And we can also see along the top, we've got lots of different sections as well. So publications, choreo poems, which if you have never seen, they're really cool. Teaching, stuff about performance here. We have something else that she is involved with. So job as an editor at an independent press. Another picture of her, someone else at that press and kind of the stuff that they do. And the contact page here, which has these different options. So discussion and follow-up discussion. Let's see what it is. And this is about one-on-one conversations or about workshopping a piece of your writing and kind of learning more about it that way. So this website as a whole, and we'll also see this has really dark text on a light background rather than kind of how the other site looked. So they have different sort of high contrast approaches here. These different sites are creating, they're both creating like friendly, welcoming tones here. They're conveying a lot of the same information about what the person does, but they're taking these different approaches to doing it based on maybe who the audience is or how they want to come across to that audience. So there is also a list of examples up on the module for this week. There are lots of different ways you can approach this assignment. So those are just some things to keep in mind as you are creating your personal brand with that. Thank you, and I hope you have good luck with this project. I'll see you in the next video.